So, what does it really take for a century-old food giant to survive in the age of instant delivery and viral trends? Today, we're diving into the playbook of Bikanervala, a brand that's a massive household name in India. But, as we're about to see, having a powerful history, well, it can be a blessing, but it can also be a curse.
And this really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How does a brand that was built on generations of actual face-to-face trust compete in a world that's all about clicks, scrolls, and swipes? It's that classic battle, heritage versus the demands of the digital future.
Okay, so before we can look forward, we've got to look back. What's the foundation here? How did a small, sweet shop become this huge household name? Let's dig into where it all started.
And honestly, the evolution is pretty remarkable. They start out as just one single sweet shop in Bikaner. Then they expand into full-on restaurants. But the real game changer, that was launching Bikano for all their packaged goods. That one move is what let them scale up across the country and eventually take their stuff global.
You see, for decades, Bikanervala's entire brand, its whole identity, was built on these two, unshakable pillars: heritage and trust. You've got this century-old story, you combine that with authentic recipes, and boom, you've created some serious brand recall. For so many people, when you thought of traditional Indian sweets, you just thought of Bikanervala. Simple as that.
But, right, that brings us to today. And this is where things get interesting. The brand is at a massive crossroads. Its powerful past is smashing right up against the intense pressures of the modern market.
So if you look at it on paper, their positioning seems crystal clear. They do traditional, 100% vegetarian Indian food, and they serve it up in a modern, family-friendly spot. They're targeting families out shopping at the mall, people grabbing gifts for festivals, and, travelers who need a reliable place to stop on the highway. Makes sense. And this is where that core tension really comes into focus. So let's break it down. What's working for them, and what are the major challenges they're up against? Okay, so here are the two sides of that coin. On the one hand, you've got that incredible brand heritage. That's a huge strength. Plus, their multi-channel revenue model gives them scale and makes them pretty resilient. But the flip side? They're really struggling to connect with younger digital native audiences. And they're facing just fierce competition from rivals like Haldiram's, not just on price, but on distribution too. So, what's the path forward here? Well, this brings us to a potential playbook for their growth, and it all starts with their physical stores. First thing on the list, reinventing their actual physical stores. The strategy here breaks down into three totally distinct formats. First, you've got these big, flashy flagship outlets in city malls. Those are all about creating an experience. Then you've got the super efficient express stores on highways, perfect for travelers. And finally, compact city kiosks for quick grab-and-go sales in the city. See? Three different formats, each one targeting a completely different type of customer. And, of course, they absolutely have to win online. That means diving headfirst into some quick digital wins. We're talking short-form video on Reels and Shorts, showing how the food is actually made, collaborating with micro-influencers to build that local hype in smaller cities, and running super targeted ads during big festivals like Diwali. These are the kinds of high-impact moves that can finally get that younger audience to pay attention. This quote right here, it just gets to the absolute heart of it. See, their challenge isn't building trust from scratch. They've already got that, tons of it. The real work is converting that trust into digital-first engagement. It's all about taking this incredible legacy asset they have and making it matter to today's consumer. Look, strategy is great, but execution is everything, right? So how do you actually make all this stuff happen? Well, here's a tangible 90-day plan that turns these big ideas into real action. So the plan gets broken down into these really clear, measurable steps. In just the first 90 days, the focus is on a few key things. Launch a digital video campaign, get some premium holiday gift packs up online, pilot a new loyalty app in maybe a dozen stores, and turn one of those flagship stores into a full-on experience concept. It's all about building quick, visible momentum right out of the gate. So, what's the big takeaway here? How does a brand like this not just survive, but actually thrive in this new world? Well, it really all boils down to one core idea. Ultimately, the future for Bikanervala, and really for any brand in their shoes, it all depends on this delicate balancing act. They have to blend their powerful heritage with smart, modern innovation. And what that means is leveraging that deep-seated trust they've earned to build modern direct-to-consumer channels while also creating retail experiences that are way more than just a place to buy sweets.
And that leaves us with one final thought, something to really chew on. For any legacy brand out there, is its history a launch pad that gives it momentum? Or is it an anchor, holding it back from where it desperately needs to go? The answer for Bikanervala, well, that's going to be written in the choices they make next.